Welcome, Joe. I trust today's visit isn't merely a social call. What's the latest calamity befalling your existence that brings you into my office today?
Well, man, I'm trying to buy a house, and it is like the most infuriating process ever. I feel like I'm going crazy over here, or at least I'm realizing that the whole market is just filled with vultures.
What do you mean by vultures? Are you speaking metaphorically? Or are you asserting that there are actual birds pulling the strings of the housing market?
No, no. uh, Not real bird. I know there's not real birds like behind the housing market, but that would be kind of funny. But no. When I talk about vultures, it's like, people that got to go in and get a mortgage and everything like that. Not cash buyers have to go through all of these extra hurdles, which is like pretty much everybody except for like super rich people, right? And so the vultures have just made this valley that you have to go through, and they will pick you to pieces as you go through it, because you have to go through it to get to the other side, which is you just end up on the other side beat up. But the things that piss me off about it, first off, and I'm looking for a house and everything, and talk to the real estate guy, look into it, and there's like, you gotta get pre-approved for a loan. I was like, okay, cool. That'll let me know how much money, I can get for a loan and everything, and then how much I can shop for on a house. So I started budgeting and stuff like that. But you know what I found out about that loan? So I go through the whole process, find this nice house and everything, and I'm looking at it like, oh man, this is going to be a cool place, well within the budget and everything like that. I was like, this is a place that I'm going to go for. We're going to move out here. And then they sent me this paperwork, and in the paperwork there's this thing called like the option, and there's something other with the fee, like expired whatever, right? Anyways, the exception or something like that. Either way, I don't worry about it. But it costs, like, you have to put all this money up first, and it cost me like almost $2,000 just to put that down. Right? Now, these people get like the option or exempt money or whatever. I can't remember exactly. Some they keep some of it. I get some of it back if I buy the house. Now, if I don't buy said house, right, they get all of my money, right, and that I put up for it, which wouldn't be a problem because, right, I got the loan, right? Nay. I was pre-approved for a loan, but I don't actually have a loan. But again, I would have never signed for that stupid piece of paper saying, oh yeah, let me give you $600 and everything, and collateral to say that I'm going to buy this house because, I know I have the loan. If I knew I didn't have the loan, I wouldn't have signed for that shit. Now I'm on the hook for $600.
Pre-approved and collateral committed. Quite the financial bullet you've fired at yourself. While you may lose the $600, consider it an investment in the priceless experience of navigating the homeownership circus.
Oh, dude, I'm way more in than just $600. I wish it was just $600. And, some people may say it's priceless, but let me put a price on it real quick for you. Alright, so $600 is just what the, like, homeowners that, like, own the house get if I back out of the deal. But I had to pay for, like, the survey fee, the appraisal fee, the inspection fee, right? All these are different things, and I thought survey and inspection were just like two different terms for the same thing. No, two separate things, two separate like $500 fees. All right, but the one that pissed me off the most was the appraisal fee, right? Because that one really frustrated me. I had to pay $550 for this guy to go out there, and what is he really doing? Is he just going out there and going, how much are they paying for this place? Look around. Yeah, that sounds about right. You know, I mean, what an easy job to go out there and do. Or at least the way it sounds on the surface, right? Maybe there's more into it, but there are people, oh, yeah, it's a deep, in depth process. That's why we got to get paid $500 to go out there. And then what happens if the guy goes out there and says, you know what? I think this place is worth $1 million. Are you buying this place for like $150,000? I don't think so. I mean, maybe you're getting it for a steal or whatever, but I'm gonna say this place is worth $1 million. Is like then the bank gonna back out and they're like, no, I can't give you this loan even though you're getting it for like a really good deal. Or does like my homeowner's insurance just like shoot through the roof at like 10 times the price because now it's like 10 times the house is gonna get covered? And all because this bozo over here decided that he thought it was $1 million property. Okay. Before I get on to the other stuff, the other one that really ticked me off about it is that there was this extra $120 fee that was tacked on for the appraiser's manager. So totaling all this was making a $670 charge. Like, I mean, what a great gig. You're the manager of an appraiser, so you're not even the guy going out there looking at the place, right? But you're just getting $120 just for sending one of your appraiser cronies out there to go look at it for you. I mean, what a freaking gig. I think I'm in the wrong job. But the other question I have is, why do I have to pay for it to get appraised? I said that I got the loan that says you get this much money. I say that, okay, I got a house. I found that it's less than the total loan, cap that I was at. And I'm trying to buy this house. And they say it's worth this much money. The city says it's worth this much money. Why do I have to pay for a special appraiser just to go out there? And again, shouldn't there, why wasn't it appraised before it on the market? Or at least I assume that's how they got the original price, where there's just put a number up there, see what you get, right? We'll figure it out whenever the appraiser gets there, and we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I mean, I don't know, shouldn't there be a rule about that or something? But one thing I will say that I have learned in this process is that closing costs is not a general term. I thought closing, when people say, oh, it's going to be about $10,000 for your closing costs, I thought they were talking about everything that is associated with closing the house, right? It's not just an extra line on the freaking invoice that's $8,000, $10,000, or whatever magic number they decide is how much money it costs to turn on the printer and make it go burr and print out these stupid paperwork. Anyway.
Did you happen to look up anything at all about buying a home before you started this venture?
Well, officially no, but I have watched so many hours of HGTV that, I've learned from that show is that you visit 3 houses, right? You get to choose one of them. And you need down payment money, and then there's closing costs that you got to worry about, right? They always say you got to worry about the closing costs. Just it's not that big of a deal, but you kind of got to worry about it, right? Real casual about it. But again, I didn't think I needed to do a whole bunch of research, and I didn't have time to do the research. I kind of got it over my head. This whole thing started because I was looking up for houses, what they were for sale on Google, okay, what could I probably get? What region is that in? And I liked this one house, and I was like, let's go check it out. That would be kind of cool. Maybe there'll be some window shopping and stuff and get a general idea of stuff. So I clicked this button on how to check out this one particular house. So then this real estate guy calls me, and we were about to go look at it, but he goes, before you do that, you need to call these loan people, see how much of a loan you can get. And I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense. Give me a general span so I know how to shop. And then that's whenever like the whole like weird like referral, like I know a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy that can do what you want to do process became. Like the loan people knew the title people, and then the title people, they knew appraiser people, and like the loan people knew the appraiser people. The real estate guy, he knew a good survey guy, and it was just all real weird, right? But again, at the end of the day, I kind of trusted like the real estate guy to pretty much handle a lot of these things, because he was getting such a big chunk of money, for setting all of this stuff up. All I cared about was, where is the place? Is the place like not rotting or whatever? Like, am I gonna move into it? Did somebody die here? Is there like ghosts and stuff that haunt this area? Um, you know, those are the things I'm worried about. Pipes leaking and stuff like that. All these other things of like, oh, you gotta worry about a $500 fee here, $600 fee here. I didn't think that I needed to look up those little details. I was looking up details about like the house itself, and hey, if you see cracks like this means that. Or don't get a house that has this kind of foundation. This is how you can see problems in the house. I was looking for problems in the house, not like, again, I didn't know about this whole valley of vultures and everything that was going to come and get me. And pardon me for not looking that up, Gnomie.
Ah, the old HGTV homeschooling method. Now that is a priceless course in the art of house hunting. My concern for you is trusting the real estate guy with the entire expedition. A bold move if I do say so myself. What about clicking that button on Google made you trust this man so much?
Well, I trust the real estate guy since he has connections that like I don't have, nor do I have the time to make them and, have the time to vet them, know if they're good or not, right? But the biggest problem I really ran into on this was that I had all of my money in a safe, because I keep it out of the bank. I don't trust them. And the real estate guy told me that I needed to put that in the bank because they don't accept cash for down payments. So I tried to put it in before the loan process started, but it was too late. And now I can't touch any of that money that's in the account, but I also cannot use that money towards paying the down payment. So it's just a whole bunch of useless money. So I got some government grant and some help from my freaking mom, which, I love her, but it's frustrating, man. And I have to lean on her to be able to make the down payment because the money I have is worthless, right? It's like since it was in a safe, it turned into monopoly money.
It's true that in business, you do have to have a certain degree of trust in others. Thankfully, you have your family as a safety net to pick up the slack in your decision-making process. We only have a few minutes left in your session today. Is there anything else you need to get off your chest before you go?
No, I think that's about everything for now. I'm sure I'll need to come back in a couple weeks after I move in. That is if I get the loan, but I'm supposed to sign the final papers like next week. And then I'll have to deal with all the setting up the utilities and getting everything moved over. Hopefully all that goes through, and then changing all the stuff under the new address. And I'm not looking forward to it, and I already know that that's going to drive me up a freaking wall.
I'm sure it's going to work out just fine, Joe. If not, you can always go with your Plan B, where you go to Mexico and cross back over as a migrant, giving you the American dream that most Americans can't afford anymore.